Today on Live Daily News, an area arms dealer was sentenced, a San Angelo police officer were involved in a standoff with a barricaded subject over the weekend, and Congressman August Pfluger was at Goodfellow Air Force Base this morning. I'm James Bellini, and this is Live. We'll get to the news in a minute, but first, the ArcLight Bar and Grill is San Angelo's finest new sports bar. Catch all the college and NFL action on the largest video board in San Angelo with 13 other flat screens so you can keep up with the latest scores and updates for your favorite team and your fantasy team in an incredible environment. The ArcLight also hosts Fight Night for the biggest boxing matches and MMA fights, comedy shows, and more. Go visit the ArcLight Bar and Grill located at 441 Rio Concho Drive in San Angelo. Starting things off, San Angelo Police were involved in a standoff with a barricaded subject on Saturday night. 48-year-old Ricardo Rico was arrested for aggravated assault with a deadly weapon after he walked up to a man and stabbed him multiple times in the leg. Rico fled the scene and barricaded himself inside a shed. The SWAT team, along with the crisis negotiating team and others, responded, and they had to use chemical munitions to get Rico to surrender. He was booked in the Montgomery County Jail on September 14th and has a $50,000 bond. Congressman August Pfluger and Congressman Kent Calvert of California visited Goodfellow Air Force Base this morning for an official tour and media availability. They talked about the facility upgrades, including new dormitories and modern training spaces. The congressman addressed ongoing efforts to secure funding for these upgrades, particularly the construction of a new dormitory for 400 personnel set to begin in 2026. Pfluger also highlighted the need for updated classified workspaces. Both congressmen praised the partnership between San Angelo community and Goodfellow Air Force Base, with Pfluger thanking local residents for their ongoing support of military personnel. You can watch the entire press briefing on SanAngeloLive.com. Have you downloaded the San Angelo Live mobile app yet? Almost 11,000 of you have. It's free and it's the best app in the business. Download off the Apple App Store or the Google Play Store to stay up to date with news in San Angelo. And a San Angelo arms dealer took a plea deal for murder after being involved in the killing of Jacob Hernandez. Hernandez was shot and killed back in 2021 on May 26th. San Angelo Police responded to the Nueva Vista Apartments for a shooting victim, and when they arrived, they found a firearm on the steps leading up to the apartment, and then inside Hernandez, who suffered a gunshot wound to the chest. Surveillance footage was used to identify the suspects, and 23-year-old Micah Saldivar was named as the man who gave or sold the weapon used in the killing. In exchange for a guilty plea, Saldivar was sentenced to 30 years for murder and 10 years for deadly conduct, discharge of a firearm, but the murder charge has yet to be signed. Into weather, back to West Texas heat. It looks like it'll be clear and sunny all week, and right now it's 91 degrees with a high of 95. Tonight it'll be mostly clear with a low of 69. Tomorrow it will be sunny, and then we'll have a high of 96, and then tomorrow night brings a low of 72. Then on Wednesday, the high bounces right back up to 96, and the low will be 73. When we come back, Bobcats head coach Mark Smith talked about the Bobcats' first win of the season, and then Bob Bluthardt from Fort Concho is in studio. But first, a word from the Bass Bunch.
It's our giant tag sale.
Giant tags plus hail means one thing: giant tag hail sale prices. Right now, during our giant tag hail sale, you can get a brand new 2024 Ford Explorer XLT for just $32,977. But hurry, these are selling fast. Our giant tag hail sale at Jim Bass Cars and Trucks, Houston Hart at Arden Road, or shop 24/7 at bassbunch.com.
Awesome. So you mentioned, obviously, being from the area of Abilene, you guys go back there to get that win, but it was all business for you. But how do you feel, emotions-wise, coming off that big win for you guys?
Well, it was wonderful. I'm just really happy for our players, all the players, the trainers, the managers, the staff, their families, our community, just everybody. Being only in my third game here, looking back and just the recent past in this program had been a lot of winning. I think that was only the second win in the last 18 games for this program. So it was really nice just looking back and seeing the celebration and the fans and the cheerleaders and drill team and band and everybody just taking part of that. It was a very, very proud moment, for me. And then personally, right there in Abilene, my hometown, the stadium that I grew up just a stone's throw away from, riding my bike up to, just made it all the sweeter.
Yeah, Coach, it's kind of a different game than a lot of people around here are used to. You guys held, Cooper to 7 points through 3 quarters. I mean, talk about how your defense has improved through these first
Well,
weeks?
and even those 7 points, we fumble the first snap of the game. We lose the toss, and I take the ball, and we put the ball on the ground on the first play, give it to them. That's 4 halves in a row where we've played defense essentially to start the half. We've got to get that fixed and corrected, but really proud of the defense through that. I was, from the first game to now, there's been drastic improvement, in that side of the ball, and I knew there would be. I was hopefully that it would be this quick, to do that, but we've gone against 3 good offenses that have scored a lot of points, this year, and really proud of the strides we made defensively, and then, have that stand to get the interception to seal the game at the end. Yeah, good moment for the defense.
You guys are averaging roughly about 31 points per game so far, and like he attested to, the defense is picking up and keeping you guys away from a shootout at this point. How do you guys keep that momentum rolling forward?
Well, I think we've played good complementary football to this point. I know that we've wanted at times to just be a little more aggressive and to go faster offensively, but struggling our first few games on defense, there were some moments in there where we needed to slow down, use more of the play clock and take a little more time. So, I think every game has a formula for winning, and sometimes you don't know what that looks like exactly until you're in the game. We may be struggling on one side or the other, and then you've got to make some of those adjustments. But I know, just as from a philosophical standpoint, we want to go faster, push the ball a little bit more. But having struggled a little bit on defense, we've slowed down and done some different things offensively. But I love the complementary nature, of our staff and whatever it takes to go win.
Hey, Coach, I was going to ask just about the gut check moment for the offense after the lead was lost in the fourth quarter, how you felt about the offense, shaking that off and going and getting it done.
Just the resiliency that it takes to come back from that. We had the lead, and then it slipped away from us. We had the 2 long drives by Cooper that they had, and back-to-back 3 and outs by our offense. Just couldn't get anything going, and then a tired defense, that's a little bit fatigued at that point. But then to just say, you know what, okay, the game's on the line right here, we need to make plays, and they did. And I think that's been the theme of this team from the beginning, is just the resilient manner that they play with, the mental disposition they have, that no matter what the situation is, the confidence that we got enough, we got what it takes to go win.
Yeah, Coach, you're back at home this week after 2 road games. You got Belton coming in. Last year was a really close game against Belton, and this year, they're 0-3. Kind of what are you telling your team before this matchup?
Well, kind of what I mentioned just a little bit ago. I think that this is the second win in the last 18 games. Now we get to learn how to respond after we've had success. This team has, losing has been normalized here, in the recent past, and we want to normalize winning. Well, what does it take to win? There's a cost, that's involved in that, and the cost is in the preparation. And now that we had a game that we won, can we just double down our efforts? And that was my message to the team this morning, is that now we've had that taste of success. Well, do we want to keep that, or not? Are we satisfied? I know they're not. I was posing the question just to them to see what their response might be. But we had a great practice this morning. It was a renewed energy and excitement in what we're doing, and just ready to tackle the next opponent.
Hey, Coach, can you just briefly talk about the matchup with Belton? How you feel about how y'all match up with them?
Well, this is going to be something new. For 3 weeks in a row, our offense has gone against an odd front defense, and now we've got a new structure defensively that we're going to see. And also from our defensive standpoint, we're going to see a 21 personnel team. They play with a tight end, with a fullback, a 2-back system, kind of, traditional football, if you will. And so it's different schemes on both sides of the ball. So there's new things and new things to learn, offensively and defensively. So, we got a good opponent. They've lost, their games, but they played 3 really good teams. And, everybody's good in football. And if you don't play your best, you get beat in this game. So, they're a varsity team as well, and they've got good players and good coaches. And, we've got to be on top of our game. But I think that, dating back to the beginning of the season, I said, if we control the things that we can control and focus on the Bobcats and not let the Bobcats beat the Bobcats, we'll be okay. We've got a good team. We're still growing, we're still improving, but I'm trying to keep our focus on us performing the best that we can. Thank you, guys.
Thank you,
Thanks,
Coach.
Coach.
Appreciate it.
Yes, sir.
It's hard to believe how reckless some people can be and how hard they fight against real victims. You need a partner who consistently beats the giants and who will never, ever flinch.
And welcome back. James Bellini here with Bob Bluthardt with Fort Concho.
Howdy do you.
I'm doing good. Let's talk about what we got coming up.
Let's do that. Well, first, in September, of course, it's Speaker Series month, and we have 2 more sessions. Our favorite word, free. It's free on Wednesdays, 12 to 1. So next Wednesday, you can, which is, what day is that?
Let's see, this is the 13th. I guess like the 17th?
That sounds about right.
Right
Well, whatever it is, whatever next Wednesday is, we have Sarah, a team of our staff, talking about the 150th anniversary of the Red River War. I know she was on a previous program talking about the living history segment of that, but this will be the history segment. That will be in the court and the commissary building from 12 to 1. And then on the last Wednesday, we will have a talk on Texas's first revolution of 1811, and I'm a little hazy on that, so I think I'll attend and maybe I'll learn something along with everybody else. 12 to 1, commissary building, look for the signs, and it's free to all and a good opportunity to learn things.
All right. And what about next month? We got Halloween.
Halloween. Oh my goodness. Did I read someplace that Halloween now has become, if not the largest spending holiday? It's right on the heels of Christmas.
That makes sense.
It does. It does. I mean, 1 day versus 30 days. Well, we're going to go all out. We'll have 3 weekend events. Now, I'm going to get a few of the numbers wrong, so the staff won't beat me up much, but just check our website at fortconcho.com. So the first weekend of October 4 and 5, and these are all Friday, Saturday events, will be the Haunted House.
All right.
I think one of my staff members calls it like the House of Horrors, or well, that's the accounting department, so we don't go there. Right. So it's the House of Horrors or Haunted House. And it'll be in the Quartermaster building. Again, look for the signs. And it'll run from about 7 to 10 p.m. A little pricey, but it's a fundraiser for us. $12 for regular adults and $10 for Fort members. Hint, hint, if you're a Fort member, you get a couple of dollars off. Right. And I've seen some of the things that the staff have been making, and it scares me. And it's not even in the building yet, so I think you have to come by and see it.
Is it historical?
No. This is the lowbrow stuff. This has nothing to do with history. This is just scare the living daylights out of you.
All right.
The only historic thing about it will be the building, which can be scary enough in the dark. So that's the 4th and the 5th. Now the next weekend, we will have the night tours. It's called Fort Concho After Dark. This is high history. These are real stories told by our guides and volunteers in period dress, going building to building and talking about some of the great real stories, pretty scary in some of them that took place. So if you like ghosts and people coming back from the dead and all that kind of stuff, come out and see us. You have to buy your ticket in advance because it's a limited number. We can't take, say, 100 people at a clip. All the information will be on the website, which is fortconcho.com. And it's limited to about 100 to 125 people, and the tickets go pretty quick, so snap them up when you get the chance. They will not be selling any tickets at the door on that one. As opposed to the Haunted House, you just show up. And then the last weekend, we have a murder at Fort Concho. If you're familiar with the board game Clue, this is the way it works. You show up, you get your clue sheet, you get your map, and then you go station to station. I think it's about 5 or 6 of them. And again, staff and volunteers dressed in pretty authentic outfits from the period. And you go around trying to figure out who did the murder. And it's someone different, a historic personage. One year it was the chaplain. I always suspected him. And in other years it was Colonel Grierson. So this also is an evening event, and you can just show up. And I think the prices for all 3 of these events are the same. $12 for regular folks, $10 for Fort members. And for the children, we don't recommend children on the Haunted House below 6. It could scare folks. And the other 2 programs are probably more geared to folks, say, ages 10 or 12 or up.
Okay.
So first, second, and third weekends in October, 4, 5, 11, 12, and 19, 20?
Sounds about right.
I think so.
Around there.
Or 18, 19. Hey, check the calendar. I told you I get
The
the
third
numbers good.
weekend. The third weekend
First,
of
second,
October.
and third weekends. There you go.
That fourth weekend, people will probably be.
That's the real Halloween.
We
We
do.
stand down on that
Right.
one and stay out of the way. We're also gearing up for Christmas at Old Fort Concho in December, which is the first weekend of December, December 6, 7, and 8. New merchants, some new World War II and 19th century activity. Hoping to get some new entertainers. So watch the calendar and our website for that. And before you know it, the temperature will be in the 50s. Oh, my word. And
It's gotten down in the 50s at night.
I say
Here
it's
recently.
57 there. Morning before last wasn't bad at all.
No, it wasn't.
So
It was really nice outside.
always something going on. Check our website at fortconcho.com or come by and see us at 630 South Oaks. We have lots of printed calendars and information. And if you haven't seen it, and again, our favorite word, it's free. The Buffalo Soldier exhibit in Barracks 1 is pretty cool.
All right. Well, did we cover everything?
Oh, I think that took care of just about everything, the major stuff for the next couple of weeks, but we'll definitely have some more stuff to talk about next month.
Well, I do actually. That murder mystery are they historic figures from San Angelo?
They are actually Fort Concho figures.
Okay.
We pick different ones each year. I think one year it was Chaplain Badger. Another year it was Colonel Grierson. One year it was Colonel Mackenzie. So different personages are picked straight out of the history books. Now, what
All
they
right.
did is not terribly historic, but
Right.
we figure we just go with the people.
All right. Well, Mr. Bluthardt, thank you for coming by today.
Thank you.
All right. Back to you guys.
When it comes to unique pieces you can't find anywhere else, Kano's Diamonds and Coins is your one-stop shop. With over 24 years in the diamond and coin industry, Kano's Diamonds and Coins is West Texas's choice for diamonds, jewelry, coins, silver, and gold. Owner Bill Kano stands by his work and offers free consultations, including estate jewelry. Don't just trust anyone with your valuables. Come see the staff at Kano's at 1016 West Beauregard in San Angelo.
Thanks for watching the Live Daily News Show, the only locally owned news show in the Concho Valley. Go like us on Facebook, X, and other social media platforms, and download the San Angelo Live mobile app today to stay up to date with news from in and around the Concho Valley. Thanks again, and we'll see you back here tomorrow.